here, 7 o'clock. Actually, right before I got here, I stopped at the grocery store, got waters for the guys, and then I'm about to do some computer work till around 7:30ish. 7:30, I start opening up all the containers, the gates, make sure the trailers are unlocked and everything is good to go out there. 8 o'clock, I usually meet with one of the managers every day. Right now I'm meeting with the new hire, Daisha, and she'll be here around 8, and do some detailed training with her. And then around 8:30, the guys will start coming in, and I make sure everybody's here, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And then around 9, that's when majority of everybody left. Anybody's still here, I gotta figure out what's going on, and then hopefully by 10, all the busy work is done. But right now I'm gonna go make sure the routes are in order. $1,800, possibly more. One of them's an hourly job, so I'm sure it could be over 2,000 today, which is not bad for the garden crew, especially starting right now. This is still going on the 3rd week of the season, and then I've got another crew doing 1, 2, 3, 4 spring wake-ups, possibly 5. I like to throw on an extra one just in case they can get to it. Because a lot of times they'll finish and it'll be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they'll still want to stay out working, so they'll say, hey, if I can throw another job on there. So for the most part, I always try and throw a little more than I think they can handle, so they don't call me to give them more work, which is just awesome that the guys do that. So now that I've got everybody's routes, how many that I think they can do, now I'm going to just try and optimize them. So a lot of times in the morning I look at all the equipment, especially if I know the night before it didn't get washed. I'll typically wash them in the morning. I don't mind doing that because I get an idea of, I get to look at the machines, make sure everything's working, if there's a tire wobbly or something's not functioning right on it, I can catch it there while I'm cleaning it. So I don't mind doing that, and I'll probably do some of that today. Cleaning the equipment is a job I typically give one of the employees' son, and I just pay them cash, like 10 to 15 bucks a day. They clean all the equipment. The employees love it because it gets their kids learning how to work, and they only do it for a few hours. They usually get dropped off by somebody around 4, and then they clean the equipment till their ride finishes the day, and then they take them home. So it works out pretty good. Smooth morning, typical day. Everybody showed up like they were supposed to. Everybody knew what they were doing. There wasn't any weird notes that I needed to explain to anybody. It was straightforward. They had a list and they went out and just did it. So it's 9 o'clock and everybody's gone, just like it should be. Okay, so the new garden manager needs a vehicle to drive, and since the other estimator van is in use right now, I'm trying to get this one up and running, but it's been shut down basically since last summer, so it doesn't have a battery charge right now. I'm hoping to jump it and seeing if it'll hold the battery charge. I tried to turn the Venture on, but it's been sitting for so long that the battery's dead. So I'm trying to just start it, and then we're going to drive it for a little bit and see if it holds a charge. So I jump started the van, but I'm going to take it to the mechanics because I just want to make sure the battery's good. Maybe I'll have them look everything over one time for me. It looks like it needs an oil change anyway, so I'm just going to drop it off and tell them to try and get it up and running good. Back at the shop, and the Bobcat guy just showed up with my new MT100. Alright. got the trencher right here. This will be awesome for whenever we need to make trenches for sprinklers and things. Land planer right here. This is going to be, some of the garden guys are already really excited to use this because we do a lot of ground leveling, and this is supposed to make it really smooth. So I know it's going to take some time to learn how to do, but once we get that down, that's going to be really useful. Your traditional forks, you know, I've got pallets over there that could be moved. I've got some other pallets on the other side that could be moved, and it's just going to be really nice that I have something that can do that now. I got this, at first Bobcat was going to customize a bucket for me, but they realized they had this one, and this bucket is awesome. It's basically half a yard just on this bucket, half a cubic yard. So that's really cool. And then the one that normally would come with the Bobcat, just a smaller bucket. This will be really good for scraping off sod or just doing any kind of basic ground lifting. You don't really want to do that kind of work with this bucket. This one's more for like snow, bark, lighter material for this bucket right there. Okay, so I got the custom decals on there. The funny thing is, we put the Bobcat decals on that we kind of found online ourselves, and we painted it Lawn Thumbs blue. And I had to bring it back to Bobcat to have them deliver it to me because the decal shop was right next door to the Bobcat dealership. So I was kind of worried that they were going to say something about the decal, but they didn't say a word. So in fact, when he just dropped it off, I said, "Hey, you like those decals?" He goes, "Yeah, it turned out really nice." So, and that was all I said about it. And so I've got my logo on there, and then we kind of took out the Bobcat arm, you know, decal that was on there, and we just made this one. So I don't know, I'm really stoked about it. I love the way the Bobcat turned out though. I really like that. We're gonna do so much with this thing. Right now, I plan on doing stump grinding and using the buckets for the shop just to move things around. But if you really think about it, there's gonna be so much we could do with this that I may need to train one of the techs to just focus on using this, so when we have a trenching job, they can use it. Stump grinding, moving things around the shop. But I really feel like we're going to make a lot of money. We just haven't offered services that required this, so I feel like that's something that's going to happen like naturally now that we have it here. And those jobs are going to get bigger and bigger. That's just what I see happening. The joys of being a business owner. I was just having a euphoric moment on my new toy, and then I get a phone call that the spray pump diaphragms are cracked. So my fertilizer tech is coming right now, and I just checked to see if I have any diaphragms. I don't, so I've got to go to Salt Lake, pick some up. And hopefully I can repair this thing today so my tech can be up and running tomorrow. We're going to Salt Lake right now to a place called Stephen Regan. They carry all the parts that you need for a fertilizer setup. They even do repairs, but they're usually on a 3 to 4 week wait. And I've done this repair enough that I can just do it myself. So I'm just gonna go get some diaphragms, and just knock them out myself. $131 for 4 diaphragms. I only need 2, but I got 2 more just in case. And I bought a hyper oil. I have plenty at the shop, but I don't want to be completely empty, so I bought another one of those. How much is a diaphragm, or the hyper oil? It's 13 bucks. These must be about $30 each, so that's not too bad, but you know, they add up when you get 4. The last time I did this, I think I did it in under an hour, so I'm gonna see how long it'll take me today. It's 2:48. Hopefully I can get it done fast. We'll see. I've had issues with this shaking so much that one of the mechanics that usually helps me out with these random repairs, I think he bolted this, he basically bolted this down or welded these pieces here. So now I'm having trouble getting these bolts out because it doesn't want to move. I really hope that that's not going to be an issue. I see that I can unscrew this here and then I can loosen up that way. I may have to do that. Really sucks. That's going to add more time for me. First thing I did was drain the oil, the old Hypro oil mixed with the fertilizer tank, because the diaphragms are busted and so they're mixing together. That's a bad thing. So what I need to do is unscrew these bolts here. These 4 on this side, 4 on that side, 1 up top here and 1 up top over there. And then take it all apart and then change the diaphragms. Okay, I unbolted what I thought was holding this in place, but it still won't budge. So I'm a little concerned. Alright, I'm attempting something stupid. And stupid because I don't think it's going to work. Not stupid because I think it'll break anything. But I've got to pull this welded metal piece out from underneath the pump so that this has the flexibility to go down, and that's how I'm going to get these bolts out. I'm bending this now. So I've got a lot of pressure on there. I'm going to get the hammer again. I'm going to start banging on it. I think hopefully it'll move. It's close. Okay. I'm close. I'm happy with that, but this is toast now. We've got to find another one. Before I come into work tomorrow, I need to stop by an Ace hardware store and get more straps, because I just took their strap, and that's what keeps all the equipment from, you know, from moving. Hopefully this works. This is how you break an Apple Watch. So you got to be careful with that. Come out. So close. I got it moved, but now it's not enough. So I've hit it with a hammer, trying to loosen it. I did get it out from underneath the pump, but now it's still, this is still causing the pump to not go down any lower. So I still have to apply more pressure to it. You got that? Whew. So now I can get these out. So when I lift this up, I have to watch for these underneath these lips. There's a diaphragm, a rubber seal. There we go. Okay, there's one on the bottom and on the top. Okay, so this should just come right off. Okay, now it's important that these stay like that, not like this. So I try to keep everything the same way. It's the old seal. doesn't look too bad, actually. It's cracked on the one side, but not on the other. Interesting. See, the actual diaphragms are okay. The problem is this was loose. So the diaphragm was all the way out like this. That was the problem. But while I've got it open, I might as well put the new ones in. Oh yeah, a lot snugger. This is about as slow as you want to go with hyper oil, because at one point the reservoir fills up and then it doesn't go down, so you get an overpour. I'm happy I'm at this point, but now I got to make sure everything works. So here we go. I just got called at the van. It does need a new battery, and some of the bulbs are out for the turn signals. I'm actually a little relieved because I would have thought there would be more wrong with that van. So a new battery, $274 plus the lights. I'm hoping to just pay just over $300. If that's all that's really wrong with it, I'll be in good shape. Okay, we were at the tire factory next door to the shop, which is really nice to have a mechanic shop right next door, so I could drop things off and just walk back to the shop and not have to worry about a ride and that kind of thing. So we just got the van back, and so they put a new battery in, checked all the fluids, oil change, that kind of thing, $300. But and then he pointed out something that another mechanic back last time I had it looked at told me about the tire rods, something like that. And I was hoping they were going to tell me the same thing the other place did, so that helps me trust them a little bit more, that they didn't say it was so bad that it needed to be replaced. So that's great. Okay, I'm getting the receipts from everybody. They're all finished. They're unloading. This was a pretty typical day, honestly. I mean, nothing super out of the ordinary. That level of frustration that I had to deal with the fertilizer pump, that will come in many forms every day, and that's just one of the things I had to deal with. On a side note, I got my Bobcat MT100 delivered today. Super happy about that. Everything went good so far, all the jobs. The one job that I was worried about, turned out that they weren't supposed to do the front anyway, they just had to do the back. So everything so far got done. All the spring wake-up crews did everything they're supposed to. The garden jobs, one of the garden jobs did get canceled because it was in a part of town that was just pouring down raining, and it was supposed to be a leaf cleanup, and so we're just gonna push that to tomorrow or the next day. But other than that, everything got done the way it's supposed to. Typical day here for me. So hey, don't forget to leave any comments down below. I love, reading those, and I love the interaction. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.